I want to nominate a man who's cool on the outside, but who burns for America on the inside.
A big night ahead for Democrats as President Obama will deliver his acceptance speech for re-election for presidency.
And it's a Thursday morning, and our rain chance today and tomorrow taking a slide downward, but it doesn't spell the same for the weekend. We'll talk more weather next.
And new age technology training. Georgia high schools partnering up with a computer giant.
Live from the WTXL studios, this is ABC 27 HD's Sunrise.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 6th. I'm Abby Maurer. Thanks for waking up with us. We'll get to your news in just a minute, but right now let's say good morning to meteorologist Sean Parker. Good morning, Sean.
You see, we believe that we're all in this together is a far better philosophy than you're on your own.
That's former President Bill Clinton urging Americans to re-elect President Obama for another 4 years. More than 50,000 people planning to watch the president's acceptance speech tonight will have to find other plans. President Barack Obama was supposed to deliver his speech later tonight before a crowd of 65,000 in the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. But because of the threat of severe weather, the speech has been moved indoors into the Time Warner Cable Arena, which has a capacity of 15,000. WTXL ABC 27's Greg Angel has more for us this morning from Charlotte on what we can expect to hear from the president later tonight.
As President Obama takes to the stage later tonight inside the Time Warner Cable Arena, we expect him to talk about a number of different issues. Social issues, certainly one of the main priorities, from supporting immigration reform to supporting same-sex marriage. Of course, jobs and economy, that's also the top issue here as well. Wednesday, we heard from a number of speakers, including former President Bill Clinton. They were all really making the pitch that the president's platform is going to move the country forward. Here's more now from Wednesday night from former President Bill Clinton.
Look at his record. He appointed Republican secretaries of defense, the Army, and transportation. He appointed a vice president who ran against him in 2008. And he trusted that vice president to oversee the successful end of the war in Iraq and the implementation of the Recovery Act. And Joe Biden did a great job with both.
And we will be here later tonight as President Barack Obama formally accepts the Democratic nomination for President of the United States. Join us as we provide continuing coverage from the 2012 Democratic National Convention. In Charlotte, North Carolina, Greg Angel, WTXL, ABC 27, dedicated to you.
And locally, you can watch the speech here. Leon Dims will host a Charlotte and Tallahassee convention watch party tonight at 7:30. Local Obama supporters can attend and watch the president's acceptance speech at the Moon nightclub. That's on East Lafayette Street. Local Democratic candidates are also expected to attend, and limited food will be provided. There is a $5 donation fee. And we continue with Your Voice, Your Vote. Our political analyst, Senator Bob McKnight, spoke one-on-one with Republican Vice Presidential candidate Paul Ryan about a number of issues, including immigration legislation. Take a listen.
Mr. Congressman, Senator Rubio has cautioned the Republicans, particularly at the convention, for moderation on immigration legislation that is punitive of nature. Do you agree with the senator?
I do, actually. I've had a long record of supporting legal immigration, of making sure that we respect people who come to this country. Look, you know, I come from Irish immigrants. We're a nation of immigrants. Immigration is a good thing for America. It brings vitality to our country. It brings entrepreneurship to our country. And we want to make sure that we have an immigration system that works for everybody. Those who came here legally, those who are here. It's an issue of compassion. It's an issue of economic security, national security. We need to make sure that we get it right. And what's disturbing about this issue is President Obama had 4 years to do something about it. He didn't. He controlled all of government by his party for the first 2 years of his administration. He didn't do anything to fix this problem. This is an issue that needs to be dealt with, and I think Marco Rubio is one of those tremendous leaders that is giving us good insights on how properly best to handle it.
And if you want to watch this interview in its entirety, because there's a lot more to it, including talking about Medicare and also the Florida Everglades Restoration Project, just go to our website, WTXL.tv. And you can also find complete election 2012 and convention coverage on our website, WTXL.tv. You can also watch behind-the-scenes video coverage from the DNC anytime by liking our WTXL Tallahassee Facebook page or following us on Twitter at ABC27. Meanwhile, the feds approved the Florida early voting plan for the 5 Florida counties that were previously exempt. Now, these counties were covered by the Federal Voting Rights Act. The panel earlier ruled that Florida law reducing early voting from 12 to 8 days violated the federal law in those counties. The judges, though, indicated that they'd approve a plan that would still provide 96 hours of early voting, the same as under Florida's previous law that amounts to just over 8 days. Justice Department or court preclearance of any changes in election laws are required for Hillsborough, Collier, Hendry, Hardy, and Monroe counties due to past racial discrimination. In FAMU news, the search continues for a band director. Today, Florida A&M University's search committee for director of marching and pep bands is scheduled to hold its first organizational meeting today at 4 p.m. in the Foothillier Administration Building. The position has been posted since June 28th. The new director will report to the chairman of the FAMU Department of Music, a change from the previous director who also served as department chairman. Qualifications include a degree in music and a minimum of 5 years experience directing bands at the collegiate level. New this morning, high schools in Georgia will soon have access to a new range of technology training. It's all part of a new partnership between the State Department of Education and computer giant Microsoft. Now that makes Georgia the 6th state to offer the Microsoft IT Academy. The online training program offers students and teachers training from basic use of Microsoft programs like Excel and PowerPoint to more complex tasks like programming. The academy is available immediately for any of Georgia's 643 public high schools. About 200 schools already have expressed interest in the program. Well, it's now 39 minutes past the hour, and coming up next we have birthdays, your Workforce Plus Hot Job of the Day, and a whole lot more. But right now, if you're heading out the door this morning, we're taking a look at the intersection of Park Avenue and Macomb Street, courtesy of the City of Tallahassee. FHP is reporting no problems on the roadways. It should be clear. We'll see you in 2 minutes.